Sully, what's up, buddy?
We ran a little bit long with the guys from Baseball Performance Center, but great segment. Wanted to get that information out there to all the local baseball players and parents and stuff. Those guys are doing some great things over there.
You know, we were just talking about their Performance Center driving up the other day about we'd love to try to get our team to go check it out and have guys like that address our team and talk to these kids, as we're getting ready to start this regional tournament.
Oh, definitely, man. These guys they're young guys. They're excited. I mean, they do a lot of videos, so they're really progressive in the way they treat it as well is really interesting. They treat it almost like a gym membership.
Yeah, I've heard the structure's pretty interesting, but you can kind of go in there whenever you want and you pay a monthly fee. Yeah, you got to do something different in this day and age, and we tell a lot of the kids actually, in this day and age, these kids are playing so many games. Like at this point, I think they play too many games. I would focus on playing less games and more of what those guys are teaching. Be in that place, talking to those type of people. Less games, man. These guys are playing so many games. It's great for the hitters, but if you're a pitcher, I don't know that so many games is great for you.
So give us an update on the A-Shore boys. Your 13s are state champs again, right?
4 in a row, man. That's 4 straight for us at the 13-year-old level, and we played Thursday night up in West Windsor against Washington Township. Beat them 5-3. And that was the 4 straight. And, you think about the size of Washington Township against, basically we're made up of the little beach communities. It's a pretty big testament to, the kids and the parents, the work that they put in. All these kids have to drive to Ventnor to come to practice every single, not every night, but we practice in Ventnor. So kids are driving from Upper Township and Summers Point, and not that it's a far drive, but it is a commitment in your summertime.
Sure, yeah.
To come to practice a couple of nights a week and do all the stuff to prepare for a week tournament. And, we didn't play in district, so we were a little rusty getting in there, but it shows the character of the team that we didn't play. I don't think we played our best games in any of the games and kind of just pushed through them and, didn't give up and didn't get frustrated. So we're looking forward to Tuesday, which starts the regional tournament.
Now, where is that going to be at?
That's over in Summers Point. The games all start at, I think it's noon each day in Summers Point. Or maybe 10 o'clock each day. There's 4 games every day over there. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is the pool play. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday would be the playoff rounds. So essentially, if you make every team makes the playoff round this year. They changed the format a little bit, but those Friday, Saturday, Sunday will be the playoff rounds, and essentially everybody going there is 3 games away from the World Series now.
Now, Mike, give us an update on the other age groups, the 14s and 15s. Are they into regionals yet?
The 14s are playing in about an hour. They're up in Hamilton for the state championship. The right to go to the state. They got some rain up there the other night, man. I saw the apocalypse. We got our game in. We got our game in just enough time as we were pulling out of that place. I mean, things
on Wednesday, yeah.
Oh, it was crazy up there. And then, so they're up there right now at 10 o'clock. The 14s play. The 15s are eliminated. They're out. They lost the other night. The 15s, this is the hard part. As the kids are getting older, that team last year, as 14-year-olds, went to the World Series. As 15-year-olds, they only had 3 or 4 returning players. Uh-huh. And, in fact, just to make a 15-year-old team, we had to pull up 14-year-olds to go play on the 15-year-old team just to get a 15-year-old bunch. But, because the kids are, as they get older, there's different priorities now and different focuses, and it's just that as they get older, it's tougher and tougher to keep them, keep them. I don't want to say but like invested into one thing.
Right.
So yeah, the 15s was a struggle a little bit this year just to get a team, but they did a great job putting that team together. Bill and the guys made sure they got a team, and the kids got districts and some states and some practices. So, and that's what it's really about is teaching, getting the kids out there practicing.
Now, this 13-year-old squad, I know you've been high on these guys, some very talented players, and a couple kids who have older brothers playing at the varsity level. So these guys are pretty high-level baseball players, even at that age.
Yeah, man. in today's day and age, it's not surprising, I guess, to see a freshman kind of play on the varsity level. And I think there's some kids that are in my group right now that you might see play varsity or get some varsity time next year. I said, I've been doing this for about 10, 11 years, maybe 12. I don't know when I really started them. But when I'm starting to get the brothers of some of these kids, that's when I'm starting to feel a little older, Sully. I've got
wait till you start getting their sons.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to wait that long.
In about 15 more years.
I got some names that a lot of people will hear or have heard. I've got Matt Noonan now. His brother is Danny Noonan, and he's a pitcher over at Ocean City. We've got Ryan Spina. I had his brother Pat Spina. He's over at Holy Spirit. He just pitched on the Carpenter Cup team. Many people might have heard of Tommy Finnegan's name last year on that Upper Township team. We've got him through the other night. He closed the game out. Ben Hogue is our shortstop. He was on that team as well. We got some interesting stories. Mark Elliott is a kid who I think he leads off for us, plays center field. Very cool. He reminds me a lot of Devin Sharkey, who played for our A-Shore team. He's very cool and just kind of, nonchalant, but I said he's very Bobby Abreu. He sometimes he doesn't look like he's even trying, and he does things so effortlessly. I think he's a kid who could probably play some varsity baseball maybe next year. CJ Eggery, he's like a spark plug, man. Every time a big inning starts for us, that kid has been on base. He's running, hustling. Not all the time, but most of the time. No, I kid, because CJ plays for me during the regular season. So I've always been tougher on my kids that play in my regular season team, but he has been a catalyst for so many of he had a huge bunt the other night, just a perfect bunt. The team didn't know it was coming. They fielded it, threw it over the first baseman's head, and it really opened up the whole inning. Trevor Campbell, this kid, very quiet, but man, we had him hitting lower in the lineup, and most teams he's hitting in the 3-hole. Just a great left-handed swing. He plays a great outfield. And then this kid, Michael Ordilli, man, I think his future might be at safety in the NFL, but to watch him play baseball is a lot of fun, man. Cole might know him. This kid's a football player. He's an athlete and he runs like no one I've ever seen. And then, we had a kid pitch the other night, this kid, Van Patten. He's a left-hander, and it's a pretty interesting story because he's a League 12. He really should be playing Little League, but he wanted to try out for the team, and he played up this year. He ended up starting our first game and starting the state championship game. The kid does nothing but throw strike.
Wow.
And I told the kids, if you throw the ball over the plate, you're going to pitch. I don't care how hard you throw. Throw strike. He's walked maybe 2 kids, I think, in all of the games that he's appeared in for us. So that's been a great story. And the guys, Noah Myers, Luke McCarthy, Nick Bozzi, Calvin Donahue, these guys that don't get a lot of playing time, they have been excellent on the bench. And I made sure to recognize them the other night because, Sully, you got a guy on the bench sulking, that could bring the rest of the team down.
Oh, no doubt, yeah.
We haven't had that issue. In fact, Noah Myers was the sportsmanship award winner for the entire tournament. A guy who, I don't know, played more than 2 innings up there, but was very instrumental in, when your catcher's on base, you need someone to make sure he's out there warming the pitcher up, or you need to get a pitcher warmed up. We never had to ask him. He knew that was what his job was, and, those are the kind of teams that in the end you say, man, why did this work? Well, we had that kid.
And you look, that translates as well on the high school level. You look at some of these teams like Egg Harbor Township, Holy Spirit, St. Augustine, all those guys on the bench, man, they were ready to go at a moment's notice. They weren't, sulking on the dugout steps there. They were into these games, the playoff games, and that's how you really, when you're talking about championship caliber teams, you got to have that kind of element on your bench. Yeah, man, it's like everybody wants to play, but it's hard to convince people that not everybody can play. But everybody also wants to be a part of a team and be a part of something with their friends. And when you can understand that aspect of it, that's when you get a good team. When you have the kid who thinks, that, he should be doing more, or, that's when you start to get a little bit of problems. And so far that has not been an issue, which, at this age group, you can have that problem. But
it's a refreshing thing to see that these kids like each other. They like playing with each other, which you hear a lot. You feel like in these type of situations when teams are winning, you see what happens when you're not winning. But hey,
yeah.
so far so good. So far so good. And look, I'll be honest, the parents have been great too. I the first one to say sometimes that's one of the reasons that you don't, that you're trepidation about getting into stuff like this. And they have been. It's been an excellent group of parents as well.
Now, Mike, we got your buddy Dave Schaller coming up here in just a minute. Wanted to get him on board and promote some of the stuff we're doing here at the station with the Christmas in July. Give us a little bit of a rundown on how that's going and a little reminder for everybody out there listening on what this thing's all about.
Yeah, man. And if you go out in the lobby right now, you'll see a bunch of donations have been coming in this week. I mean, the boxes are full. We've got about 4 boxes full of supplies now. We are doing a Christmas in July for the Atlantic City Rescue Mission. The mission's in need of supplies, stuff like paper towels and toilet paper and water and shampoo. Somebody brought so much shampoo over. It was unbelievable that somebody donated that much shampoo. And just stuff like that. You can go to our website, 973ESPN.com, and check out the list of stuff. But you can donate to our office or donate to East Coast Roofing on Dan and Howard Lane in Mays Landing, or bring a supply out to the Golden Nugget on the 31st. And together with Dave, we've come together with so many prizes, and everybody who donates is going to get a chance to win a prize. We've got Sixers tickets, a suite for a Sixers game, Sixers memorabilia, UFC memorabilia. We've got a bunch of signed boxing memorabilia from HBO and Showtime. Flyers have gotten involved. The Phillies have gotten involved, and Dave might have some updates on some other things when he joins you. But it's really, hey, donate, help out the community, and you know what? For that, we might reward you, or you might walk out with a great prize. So it should be a fun day. The 31st will be at the Golden Nugget in Atlantic City for Christmas in July.
Awesome. Great stuff, Mike. Good luck this week with the A-Shore squad, and we'll catch up with you next week, see how you guys are doing.
Okay, Sully, have a good rest of the weekend, man.
All right, man. Thanks, bud.
See ya.
That was Mike Gill of the Afternoon Sports Bash. Check him out on 97.3 ESPN every weekday, 2 to 6 p.m.